I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of comments I got on a post I made the other day about that big lawsuit in California against social media companies. You can go back and watch that if you want. A couple of comments took issue with the idea that parents don't have a responsibility when it comes to policing what their kids see and do on social media. This is a widespread perspective, and it's an understandable one. It's an opinion that I used to have. Hey, this is the parents' responsibility, not the social media company's fault. But there's a lot of specifics I wanted to get into to hopefully share a little bit of perspective on this issue. First things first, this girl started using social media when she was 6. She's 20 now, so this is 14 years ago, before I think many of us knew some of the issues that social media companies had and some of the widespread harms that they were causing. So I think there's that component. I also think there's this idea that, all parents know about some of the harms they're causing. You might, but there's a lot of parents out there that don't, and you can argue they should, but the reality is that we're not aware of all the things that our kids are experiencing on these apps, and there's not really a way to because we're not the ones interacting there. And I think even if all parents did know and were working hard to be diligent protectors of their kids online, you shouldn't have to worry about what your kid sees or does when they go to school and use a laptop or computer at school, or when they're at their friend's house and their friend pulls up a website that they thought was harmless but turned out not to be. Now, like I said in that video, obviously parents have a responsibility to know what their kids are up to online, to really police their use of devices and social media, but it is not just the parents' responsibility. And when you learn more about how these social media companies, these tech companies, have designed their devices and their apps to be intentionally addictive, despite knowing about very real harms of mental health issues, of cyberbullying, of predators on their apps, that responsibility falls on their shoulders as well. Internal documents from Meta showed that they knew about some of these harms and still wanted to get kids hooked on their app. So they've made their products intentionally sticky. Are there any other products in the world we'd be okay with being intentionally designed to pull kids in despite knowing about very real potential harms there? The action of these social media companies being compared to what Big Tobacco did back in the 80s when they were trying to get kids to smoke. Well, they had cartoons marketing cigarettes in ways that would be appealing to children. At the time, a lot of people didn't think much of it, but now we look back and we think, yeah, that's absolutely horrible. That shouldn't be allowed. And I think at the end of the day, it's not a binary here. It's not a situation where it's just parents or just the social media companies. It can be both of them. But I think at the end of the day, we shouldn't have to worry that trillion-dollar companies with massive governmental protections are undermining our parenting and putting our kids at risk. And I think that's what the jury in California and the one in New Mexico decided this week.